It's your girl Lila Loca, and we're back in the lab with Louis Valentino at Solano's TV studio. Louis Valentino here is a Vallejo native, music engineer, actor, and DJ. So glad to have you here. What's up?
Thank you. I appreciate you for having me.
All right, so we're gonna get a little bit into your background and ask some questions about how you got started on your journey. Is that good?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So how did you get started in the music industry? Like, what specific thing made you realize it was a passion?
Like growing up, like I was always like heavily music influenced. Like when my mom used to take me to school, she used to play like a lot of old school music and stuff like that. And then as I got older, I started listening to rap music from like Bow Wow to like Chingy, Snoop Dogg, B2K. And I was going to Maryland Elementary at the time, and they had this talent show. So I was like, like maybe I should enter this talent show. So we went and bought like this little boom box or whatever. And at the time it was cassette tapes, so like you can record over them. So I used to go home and I used to practice to like Lil Bow Wow, Take You Home. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this record. But I need a follow-up record, like if I, move on from the beginning stages to the next stage. So at that time, like B2K was popping. So I was like, I'll probably do like B2K bump, bump, bump. I don't know if the school gonna approve of that, you know what I'm saying? But we'll see. So I went to the school, I did the talent show, got to the second phase, and man, I did bump, bump, bump from like the second song, and it wound up working. So after that, my mom went to, I don't know where we went to, but she had bought me like this big, gigantic karaoke machine that showed you the words on the screen. You had the microphone, it had the little tape player to where you can record, and it really just started right there for me.
All right. So what challenges did you face when you first started your career, and how did you overcome those?
I mean, being so young, like when I started, like 7, 8, like when it really kicked off, being super young, you don't really have like the accessible tools and the resources to everybody. That's always hard. Of course, being young, you're gonna face like a lot of hatred from, students or kids that you're around all day long. And I couldn't go everywhere. Like I'm still young at that time, so I had to just make it work. But like my mom supported me with whatever I wanted to do at that time, and I made it work.
So how did your upbringing shape your music career and who you are today?
Really, like I had I grew up in a single parent household, so like my father was never around. It was really just my mom, and then my grandma. She stayed probably like 3 or 4 blocks up. So my mom was very black and white, like strict back in the day. Didn't let me go to everybody's houses, didn't let me go to parties, didn't let me do this and do that. Like I could barely go outside in the driveway. Like I could ride my bike to the neighbor's house and like come back. So like I was like kind of like enclosed and away from like all the drama, the violence and stuff that was going on, especially like where I come from. I come from South Vallejo, so at that time it was, it was the Crest that was popping, it was South Vallejo that was popping, like it was a lot. But she kept me like in tutoring at the time. I played sports, I played soccer, basketball, a little bit of baseball. I was terrible in that, and then I played football. So like I didn't have really no room to go out and do nothing else. All I knew was academic and sports and music. So that kind of shaped me to like stay on path and get me to where I am now.
Nice. Well, we're going to talk about some collaborations and influences. So what's your most rewarding collaboration that you've done so far?
Probably for me is being on 13 Reasons Why. Like being in the music industry my whole entire life, like I done been through it all. So, growing up, I kind of like, when you're a kid, you always say, I want to be a doctor, a firefighter, I want to be an actor, yada, yada, yada. So I was driving one day and my mom hit me and was like, yo, they finna film this Netflix show on Vallejo. I'm like, okay, like kind of like whatever. So she had sent me the article and I started reading and I'm like, oh, this crazy. Like I know some of the people who are putting the production on. So I wound up reaching out to them, went to go do like a little private, like a little casting or whatever. And from there, like that's kind of like where my acting career started. And that show wound up being like #1 on Netflix. Probably to this day, still like one of the biggest shows. And from there, it led to the OA season 2, where I met a lot of great actors that were also upcoming at the time when I was. What did I do after that? I did the show called The Phone with Wanda Sykes. Um, Always Be My Maybe was another project, and then before COVID, where my acting career kind of like ended, I did like stunts for The Matrix. So, you know, I think that was something that kind of like shaped and transformed me to like who I am today, like on a bigger scale.
Right. So, who do you or what do you think would be your dream collaboration?
Probably working with like Mariah Carey because like I grew up like listening to her music for forever. Like the Emancipation of Mimi is probably like one of the greatest albums of all time. That and Usher Confessions, like them is my two albums. But like I've worked with almost everybody who I grew up listening to. Like I've been on tour with Bow Wow on the Millennium Tour. I've worked with Snoop Dogg. I've worked with Chingy. Like we just dropped a project last month. Like I've worked with everybody I grew up idolizing and having posters on the wall and stuff. Like I've worked with everybody. So probably Mariah Carey.
Nice. So, what do you think the key to having a successful collaboration between an artist in the industry would be?
Really just like hard work. I think like once you put that hard work in and you build your name up, everything else kind of just like flows. I think a lot of people in today's time, like they try to jump for the little fish and they don't go for the big fish, they don't go for the little fish. Like it's like baby steps. Like you might be able to sing, you might be able to rap, you might be able to produce, but it's like build your catalog. That way when you do get there for your dream collaboration or whoever you want to work with, like you already have a name for yourself. Like you're not just scrambling, it's just a bunch of I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. Like they have something that they can go off of basically at the end of the day. Like you have a foundation.
Got you. So, what do you think is the key to staying true to yourself and being in the industry and working with big names?
Just be yourself. Like I think a lot of people who come into the industry in today's time try to be somebody else. Like everybody want to sound like everybody. Everybody want to dress like everybody. Like stop following the trend. Like if you if you stay true to yourself, the success is gonna come. Like you can have longevity just being yourself. Like be creative. It's kind of like what LaRussell is doing right now, right? Like he didn't follow everybody's path. He started having shows in his backyard. He like, I don't want to go on tour. I don't want to go on tour and do this with these other artists. Like I'd rather bring the tour to my backyard. I'll bring it to Vallejo. I'll bring your favorite artist to Vallejo and we can do these live sets. Like he switched the game up. Instead of doing the MP3 and having a DJ, he went and created a band.
Yeah.
And then he got a choir. So it's like, if you just stay true to yourself and just do what you want to do and you don't follow nobody else's trend, you will have longevity.
What role do you think social media plays in today's trends in trying to become successful in the industry?
Social media plays the biggest role. You know what I'm saying? Social media is your market. I was born in '95, so I come from the non-social media era. We kind of got MySpace and Facebook a little bit later on. That was kind of like middle school era, early high school era. So social media is everything. Like I feel like if you got a phone and you on your phone every single day and you don't make no money being on your phone, like what do you have a phone for? Like everybody's business is ran through Instagram. You don't have to go look at a newspaper or go watch a commercial. It's there for you. So you have all the tools versus before you didn't have no access to a lot of things. You have access to anything that you want on your phone. So it plays a big part, especially in my career.
So what's something people would be surprised to know about Louis Valentino?
That I am a full-time father of a 5-year-old. I've been raising her for 4 years now. And I must say, it's a great experience. If I didn't have a kid, I probably wouldn't be a music engineer. I'd probably still be acting. But at that time, having her, I had to try to figure it out. Like, do I want to be an actor that's gone, 2 or 3 months out the time where I can't raise my kid and she misses out on the fatherhood, or do I switch my career to where I'm making the same amount of money or more on my own schedule? And, I took the music engineer route. And I was just doing it, just to, keep the money going, and then just wind up turning into a career. Like it wasn't supposed to be something that was going to last this long. I just knew how to do it. I got better at it and it just took off and I just stuck with it.
Nice. So let's talk a little bit about the future. So any upcoming projects for you?
I just did a Mustang commercial during All-Star weekend, so that's big. That's my first car commercial. You know, growing up, Mustangs was always my favorite car. Um, what else do I have? There's a lot of other stuff that I really can't talk about, but it's some good stuff that's coming. I'll say that.
What do you see next for your music or acting career within the next 5 to 10 years? I saw you post something about an R&B album.
So yeah, I'm working with this artist named Jay Abram right now. He's dope. He's from Oakland, California. So we're doing like a collaborative, like one of those DJ Khaled type projects where like it's me presenting him. Everything is written by me. So that's definitely coming. And as far as acting, I don't know if I'm gonna really get back into it. Like I kind of want to transition out of the music industry and kind of go do something different. You know, it's cool, but I'm not really like interested in it no more. So I'll probably go to tech next, if anything.
So if you could ask or leave a message to your younger self, what would you say?
Work smarter, not harder, and put yourself first. Like I feel like growing up, um, I was around a lot of artists and I did so much for them and they didn't do nothing for me at the end of the day. Like it was a one-way street. I dealt with that for so long. And I used to take it personal. I used to get in my feelings about it too. Like I spaz out on you, get on the internet, talk, you know, trash about you, yada, yada, yada. But one thing I had to learn is you have to separate the personal from the business. And once you learn how to do that and you learn how to take your feelings and your emotions out of it, you can last in this industry forever because you can work with somebody one-on-one for years and have the best interest in them. And then when you need something, they don't do it and they don't come through for you and you just feel like, dang, like I done did all of this for you and you don't got the same like love and respect for me, you will take it personal. You can't take it personal. You just got to just leave it as business. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's just business.
It's just business at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming down to
Thank you for
Solano's
having me.
TV studio to interview with me. That's all the time that we have today. I'm Lila Loca, and this is Louis Valentina, and this is Loca's Vibe Check. Thanks. Have a great day.